How are we doing, folks? All right, coming in here with a just a quick little video. I don't know, I haven't been able to find anyone else that covered this. We're looking at, I've got a 2001 Chevy S10. I've had this problem with a 95 Blazer and a 98 Blazer. I assume this is an issue all across the board with these vehicles. Whereas the driver's door, or I assume both front doors, start to wear out and they'll start to sag through these hinges here. If you can try to replace the pins, but it'll be all ovaled out from constant usage and wear and tear over time without replacing the bushings and just the sheer weight of the door. So these vehicles tend to have the issue where these front doors don't close right. They'll get out of alignment, sag too far, and start doing this number, gouging into your paint job and whatnot, and eventually potentially just not close at all. So I went in here, I tried to get a specialty aftermarket hinge pin kit to fill in the gap and help restore the alignment. That unfortunately was too short, but it did inspire me to seek out an alternative solution, which I'm surprised I'd never thought of prior to this. Also surprised that I hadn't seen a video for it. So I decided I would go ahead and make a video. What you're looking at here is quite an assortment of things, but namely up top here, that is a 5/16 bolt. If I can get it to focus. That is a 5/16 bolt. It does have the bushings in there, and it's probably not the standard orientation, but in an orientation to where it's filling in the same gap, basically. I've got a washer on the bottom end up top, and then below that 2 nuts. They're backed into each other to kind of create a locking situation. Now down below, I don't remember this being an issue on my Blazers, but apparently the hole on, I think it was this one, the inner lower hinge portion here, it was smaller than the outer, so the bushing could fit through this lower section, if I remember correctly. Or no, backwards. Couldn't fit through the lower section, but I could get it up here. So this is a, let's see, what was it? A 3/8? Yeah, 3/8 bolt that's fed through from the bottom. It basically fills in the gap on the bottom perfectly. And then from a bushing kit from AutoZone, I found a bushing that fit in to this section. Squeeze that in there. I've got 3 washers filling in the gap because when I torqued it down with the wrenches here, I wanted to make sure I could get some good torque on it, and I didn't want to bend this hinge. So I put the washers in place there to help support the hinge while I torqued that, because I didn't have room on this bolt to do the same thing I did up here and back a nut into another and make it lock into place. So anyways, long story short, through an assortment of nuts, bolts, washers, and aftermarket hinge pin bushings, I was able to repair this alignment to my door. Nearly perfect. I don't have to lift it or do anything weird to get it to open or close. And all told, I think this is about $2.50 worth of nuts and bolts. The hardware, the bushings packs from AutoZone, I think was like $5 or so. So, and there's no welding necessary. You will, unless you're a younger fella or you feel a little, spicy, you're probably gonna need a friend to help you hold up the door when you take off this upper pin here. Otherwise, it's really not too big of a job. As soon as you get this bolt into place, it takes up most of the weight of the door, which is honestly kind of the problem, which is why these hinges wear out the way they do. But once you get that sucker into place good, this lower one is just kind of you can take your time on it and get it nice and good. But you might find that you need a different assortment of bolt sizes and or bushings, washers, etc., depending on how worn out your hinges. And I mean, if it's really worn out, I've had some cars, I did my 95 Blazer, I don't think this fix would have worked. This one wasn't too bad, so this has proven to be a perfectly functioning repair for me using just some nuts and bolts.